What's up? It's your boy Carcino here. And many of you have already heard the story. And this is why you don't mess with married people. We've been seeing, Joe Budden's girl, who they weren't married, how she been getting ran through people and how emotionally it has affected him. And not all men are stable minded. It's a lot of them that probably haven't been raised with a father figure or some type of male influence in the household, and it has a very traumatizing effect on the person, their personality, tendencies that they have that are very unmanly. They seem to pout and want somebody to come pat them on the back and tell them it's going to be okay, instead of trying to man up and handle the situation on their own and realizing that pouting don't get you anything. And Brennan Clay is a pouter. He's one of those people. He's a temper tantrum pouter. And when he played in Oklahoma, he wasn't that good. He played on a great team. He was decent, but it was clear Demarco Murray was the best player that they had. So, Demarco Murray was just destroying it for the Dallas Cowboys. In a contract year, and his close friend from college, Brennan Clay, who he don't really talk to that much. They talk maybe off and on through text. They don't hang out. None of that stuff. But the wife, Gina D'Angelostini, whatever her name is, however you pronounce it, who's married Brennan Clay, is attracted to Demarco Murray and the star power that he seems to possess. He's the number one running back in the league. Meanwhile, her husband is looking for work in football, in the pro game. She thought, he's going to go to the NFL, I'm going to be an NFL wife. Now she's a journeyman player in the NFL wife. Like, he's trying to make a roster. So anyway, she secretly got DeMarco's number through information we will not be providing. Now, these guys who were, good friends when they played together, are on different levels. Understandable, they different levels, no problems, no nothing. Now all of a sudden, this person decides that I think we should change things. She's like, we should be doing this, we should be doing that. They're fighting more. Things are happening. Her attitude is changing. She's more feisty. She's fighting back on stuff she normally wouldn't even raise a fuss about. And by him being a sensitive guy, he's thinking about, should I punch her in the face? Should I throw some things and start breaking them? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw some things and start breaking them. So he started throwing stuff and throwing a tantrum and turning over a table and all that stuff. And he's crazy. I'm going to call 911. So she goes and like, you're crazy. You're just crazy. So she tells DeMarco Murray all about it, Then she goes out and he's like, well, yeah, if you want to get away, go have some drinks. Blah, blah, blah. And that's how things started. They start meeting up. She started talking about problems. And he's like, man, you look good. Allegedly, this is what happened. So ever since they used to meet at this lodge they went to that's way out. Like, it's like the darkest area in the back room, and they just have one little lamp light, where that's the only thing you can see is the person you talking to. So people far away can't look over there and see the people at the table. This lounge was made just for these type of reasons. So you could take people's wives, people's girlfriends to these locations and be able to take the mistresses out. And that's what she was, and she was cool with that. She saved his number in her phone as spray tan. She's like, I'm just going to put spray tan on there. So if he looks through my phone, he knows I go to the spray tan a lot. So I'm going to put spray tan. But she forgot to clear her history and made a mistake and let him find out her passcode. Because normally she was clearing her history on her phone just in case he wants to check her phone. Then she got comfortable as the visits was more rampant, and they were meeting at hotels, allegedly, and Demarco Murray was having all the fun he wanted with her on the side. So naturally, he don't really know what's going on. He knows something's going on, but he's looking for work. So then he was like, look, I got to move out for a couple of weeks because I'm going out here to try out for the Chargers and see if I can make the team. So the Chargers called him, told him to come down for a tryout and everything. So he moved out. She telling him, he don't live with me no more. Like, you can come by the house. In Dallas, they tolerate a lot of things. They do not tolerate messing with other people's wives. Not players. You can have 1,000 chicks, but the image of their star player, one of their star players, in a scandal with somebody's wife, that's another football player, Dallas won't tolerate that. Now, if you had coke, pounds of coke and weed, now they can fix that. That's no problem. But you sleeping with another man's wife, that's not a good look. So now, you in a difficult situation. You in a catch-22. Because he figured out his girl's code and she thought he was sleeping. Like, he's just dumb. He don't know what's going on. Oh, he knew what was going on. He knew what time it was. You didn't know you was being set up. He learned your passcode. All he had to do was see what 2 numbers you put in. She put 2 numbers in the phone. He saw what the 2 numbers was and just start going down from there, getting the other 2. He saw the first 2 digits, see where she put in her hand on the phone, and then start just counting down from, 3500, 3501, 3502. He was on a mission. That's how psychotic he was. That's why you don't mess with married people. This man signed his life over to this woman. Because everything is for the woman. You waiting on her to come down the aisle. Everything is for the woman. That's why they remember it. To them, this is like a fairy tale. Ever since they was a kid, they mom been, oh, fairy tale princess, the wedding, the gown, the braid. It's all stuff for them. That's why men be forgetting anniversary. It wasn't nothing really involving them, except for that's when they lost their life. They freedom. So for them, it was a Tuesday or a Saturday that he got really drunk and had one last party. Remember that reception? Yeah, man, that reception was something else. He don't know when it was. He knew it was a couple years ago maybe, but he don't know what date. what time. So it's all about the woman. So he's going to be quite vested, knowing that he gave up and sacrificed all of this for you to just go and give it to somebody else who ain't paying nothing just because he's running a football down the field and got all this national attention. And then you going to leave me in the lurch when I'm all used up? So he decided to go on Twitter in a rampage and just start releasing stuff. Boom, all through the internet. Demarco Murray, this and this. Now this is interfering with Demarco Murray's negotiations with the Cowboys. And a lot of people didn't know that. Demarco Murray would have still been a Dallas Cowboy had this incident not happened. This incident was one of the main staples into the "we don't want Demarco Murray here." They offered him a very disrespectful deal. It was the sign that we want you out. His attitude with so many players was just not what they was used to seeing. And they were like, you know what? Yeah, let's kind of end it right here. So when that was done, that was all that needed to be said. As far as, okay, this is out, it's public, on public notice. They asked Demarco about it. He denied it, of course, and said that they was friends and this and that, and she was just a friend, and that he didn't leave that text message. Those messages aren't for him, and that's not his phone number, and all this stuff. So he denied. All of a sudden, people started pressuring Brennan. You know, she tried to call and reach out to Demarco, apologizing. He figured out my code. I can't believe it's happening. My life is a disaster. He's ruined my life. My reputation is ruined. So she's like, they're looking at me. Because like I said, in Dallas, around the area where they from though, and in Dallas and places they going, people judgmental. And now her name is on blast in the newspapers everywhere. Her picture. She's a celebrity for the wrong reasons. Now, her husband has done this to her. They're not divorced. So she's like, I'm suing you. And Demarco's going to sue you too. You could have cost him millions of dollars and this and that. So she thinking she's going to get with Demarco after this. Demarco's like, I don't want nothing to do with you. I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting him off. She was, not me. Yes, you. You are gone. I'm done. So after that got cut off, all communications and what's not, that's gone. She sits there, runs back to the husband. And you know what this soft dude did? Do you know what this soft male man did? He went and apologized and said, oh, I jumped to conclusions, changed his whole story. Why? Because he loves the woman. He just wanted his wife. And now she was like, oh, I'm with you, and I'm always going to be with you. Now all of this is alleged, of course. None of this really happened. This is all part of my imagination and my creativity. Yeah, just do that. None of this happened. I don't know where I get these stories from. I make all this up. I've even made the names up. So, with that being said, he goes and says, I'll jump to conclusions without knowing all the facts. And I was wrong. And he's up there laying up with the wife. It's disgusting. Really disgusting. To show you, unfortunately, we still got guys like this out here. Your boy Carcino, I'm out. And subscribe to the playlist. This is the truth behind sports beefs.